In every generation, a few people rise above the rest. Not because they were born special, not because they had everything figured out from the start, but because they refused to give up. Today, we're diving into the wisdom of the world's greatest leaders, people who changed history not with luck, but with relentless courage, hard decisions, and unstoppable discipline. First, let's talk about Steve Jobs. He was fired from the very company he created, Apple. Imagine that. Most people would break. They'd feel defeated, lost, and bitter. But he didn't. He famously said, "Sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith." This wasn't just a saying, it was his philosophy. After being pushed out, he didn't just sit back. He went on to start Next and Pixar. He felt liberated, free to be a beginner again. And this new energy led to some of his most creative work. When Apple was struggling, they brought him back, and from a small garage, he led the charge to build a trillion-dollar empire. He did it all by following one simple law: stay hungry, stay foolish. It means never be satisfied with what you know, always be open to learning, and never be afraid to take the road less traveled. The lesson here is profound: follow your passion, your inner voice, even when the entire world doubts you, because true greatness begins right where your comfort zone ends. Next up, Elon Musk, a man who literally bets on the future. He invested every dollar he had into Tesla and SpaceX. Think about that risk. There was a point where both companies were just days away from bankruptcy. His friends told him to stop, to cut his losses. Experts and critics publicly called him crazy. But his response was simple: when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. He wasn't just gambling. He had a vision so strong that failure was not an option in his mind. And look at what happened. Today, he's not just a billionaire. He's a history maker. He completely changed the car industry, pushing the world toward electric vehicles. He revolutionized space travel, making it cheaper and more accessible than ever before. He proved that the world doesn't belong to the cautious. It belongs to the risk takers. The lesson is clear. If you want something big, something that changes the game, you must be willing to bet on yourself when no one else will. Now, let's turn to Oprah Winfrey, a true icon of turning pain into power. Her early life was filled with unimaginable hardship, poverty, abuse, and constant rejection. When she first tried to get into television, she was told she didn't have the right look, that she was too emotional for news. It was a crushing blow. But instead of letting her past define her, or letting those voices dictate her future, she made a conscious choice. She decided to transform her pain into her greatest strength. She used her experiences to connect with people on a deeper, more authentic level. Oprah said, "Turn your wounds into wisdom." And that's exactly what she did. She created a platform built on empathy and understanding. And today, she is one of the most influential and beloved women in the world. Her story teaches us a powerful truth. Your past does not decide your future. The decisions you make today are what shape your tomorrow. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela, a man who showed us how to be stronger than our struggles. He spent 27 years in prison for fighting against apartheid. 27 years. Imagine the bitterness and hatred that could build up in a person over that time. Yet, when he was finally released, he came out with a message of forgiveness, not revenge. He famously said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." He faced the impossible task of uniting a deeply divided nation, and he did it with a courage that was far bigger than any hate. He chose reconciliation over retaliation, unity over division. His life is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. The lesson from Mandela is one of hope. No matter how dark your life gets, no matter how impossible the situation seems, there is always a path to the light if you refuse to surrender. Let's talk about the world of sports and Michael Jordan. Widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, his journey to the top was paved with failure. He was once cut from his high school varsity team. He didn't make it, but that rejection didn't stop him. It fueled him. Throughout his professional career, he missed thousands of shots. He lost hundreds of games. He missed the game-winning shot more than 24 times. But he never saw these moments as the end. In his own words, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." He understood a fundamental secret to success. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of it. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of mastery. Each failure is a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to becoming your best. Think about Jeff Bezos. He started Amazon from a small garage, and, in the early days, he was delivering the packages himself. When he pitched the idea of selling books online, people laughed. Wall Street analysts were skeptical. The media predicted his failure. But Bezos wasn't focused on the critics or the next quarter's profits. He had a long-term vision. He said, "If you never want to be criticized, for goodness sake, don't do anything new." He knew that innovation invites criticism, and he was okay with that. He was playing a different game. Today, Amazon isn't just an online bookstore. It controls the global marketplace. The lesson here is powerful. Don't just think about today or tomorrow. Think about what you can build in 10 years. Have a long-term vision and be patient enough to see it through. Finally, let's look at Mother Teresa. She changed the world without the things we often associate with power: without money, without a corporate title, without fame in the traditional sense. Her influence came from a different source entirely. Her secret, as she put it, "Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love." She dedicated her life to serving the poorest of the poor, seeing the value and dignity in every single person. She didn't lead armies or corporations. She led with her heart. Her legacy teaches us that leadership isn't just about personal success, achievement, or accumulation. It's about compassion. It's about service. It's about making a positive impact on the lives of others, one small act of love at a time. So, what do all these incredible leaders teach us? They show us that pain can be transformed into power. They prove that failure can become the fuel for your success. They demonstrate that taking calculated risks can create history, and that having a clear vision can truly change the world. Greatness is not a gift you are born with. It is a decision. A decision to keep going when you want to quit. A decision to believe in yourself when no one else does. A decision to turn your setbacks into comebacks. And right now, in this moment, you have the chance to make that decision for yourself. Your future begins today. Stand up, show up, and never, ever give up. Thanks for watching. And if this inspired you, make sure to subscribe for more.